The Vermont housing market has become very nuanced over the past few months. When you take a look at the data, it appears that nothing has changed. The median sales price just hit an all-time high and days on market remain low. But what I'm seeing personally in the market is buyers are less eager to go way over list price when they're competing in multiple offer situations. And many homes aren't selling within that first weekend. There are a lot of properties out there that are taking a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month or two before going under contract, which is much different than what we were seeing even this spring. So things are changing and they're changing quickly here in Vermont. Now, I don't think we're going to see a housing crash anytime soon. And inventory is still well below pre-pandemic levels, but things are shifting more towards the buyer's favor than we've seen in recent months or recent years here in Vermont. Now, I am going to dive deep into the data to help you make the best decision with your home purchase or home sale here in Vermont. But before I do, my name's Liam O'Reilly. I'm a realtor with Jerry Riley Real Estate. If you have any real estate needs, reach out to me directly. All of my contact information is in the description. Now, let's take a look at the stats here. The first thing that we're going to look at is the median sales price. We see here we're at $460,000 for a median sales price, meaning that half of all single family homes that sold in the state of Vermont sold for over this 460 number, half sold for under. Now we're taking a look at single family homes across the state. I like to just look at single family homes when we're talking about statewide data because condos behave differently in ski towns, in my opinion, which is where many condos are outside of Chittenden County. So we have an increase both year over year and month over month in median sales price. And when we take a look at the days on market, the median days on market sits at just 11 days, which is up slightly from last year, up slightly from the month before, but it's still very low, still well below pre-pandemic levels, where if we take a look at July pre-pandemic or that was 2020, so that was the pandemic, there were 25 days on market was the median days on market. July of 2019 was 33. So things were much slower pre-pandemic. Obviously, they're still hot. Everyone knows the market's still competitive. And again, when you take a look at these two stats, you would think that not much has changed in the Vermont housing market. But when we dive a little bit deeper and we take a look at new listings on the market, we see here that new listings are down month over month, meaning there were more listings in June, which is typical as we approach the 4th of July. People tend to hold off on listing their properties and listings tend to dip in July. It's not always the case, but we see if we take a look back in 2023, listings in June, listings dropped in July compared to June. We take a look at 2022, again, listings dropped in July compared to June. With the 4th of July holiday, less people list their homes in July compared to June, which tends to be the busiest month. But it's still up, well up year over year, up 40% from the 633 homes that were listed last year. Now, when we compare this to the pending sales that took place across the state, we have 638 pending sales. So almost 250 less homes are going under contract than are hitting the market. So in other words, more people are listing their homes than buyers are putting those homes under contract, which is resulting in inventory starting to increase. And we see that here on this graph. We've really reached a peak that we haven't seen since before the pandemic, or at least since before 2020, when things really started to pick up. We're seeing inventory start to climb back up. And now this is a really confusing market for both buyers and sellers because of this conflicting data, right? On one hand, you have a median sales price that is at an all-time high, and you have days on market that are low, making it seem like every home should be going under contract quickly and should be selling for over list price. But that's just simply not the case. I had 3 listings this past month. One of those properties did get multiple offers and went under contract within the first weekend for over what we were asking. The other 2 listings, one took about 2 weeks to go under contract, and we only had 1 offer. The other property took about 3 weeks to go under contract. And again, we only had 1 offer on that home. So it takes some time. If you're a home seller out there right now, just understand that your home might not sell within that first week. And that's still the goal. That should be your goal when you're pricing your property, is to sell it within the first weekend. But if it doesn't, don't panic. That's normal. That's what's happening in the housing market. Now, subjectively speaking, what I'm also seeing is that buyers still aren't making many offers under list price. When we take a look at the percentage of list price received, that was the wrong link there, percentage of list price received right here, about 99.9% of list price received. So about 100% of list price. Most homes are selling for right around where they're listed for. Buyers are not making lowball offers for the most part. Of course, some buyers out there are making lowball offers, but if you have your home listed high and are thinking, oh, well, somebody's just going to come in and offer under what I have it listed for if I'm too high, that's just not happening as much as people are paying what you're asking or somewhere around what you're asking from my experience. Now, that's what's going on in the entire state. Let's take a deeper look at what's going on in Chittenden County. We see the median sales price. Now, this is for single family homes and condos is at 535,000. Now, something I wanted to single out here is when you take out the condo filter, we see that in Chittenden County, single family homes, the median sales price is $645,000, meaning that in July, half of all the properties that sold were over that $645,000 number, half were below. So the median sales price is still very high, especially here in Chittenden County, and things remain a little bit hotter than the rest of the state. Now, again, it doesn't mean your property is going to sell within that first weekend. If you are a seller out there, it might take some time. We take a look at the percentage of list price received. Again, that's above where the rest of the state is. Now we're looking at single family homes and condos in this metric. I see I put the condo filter back on. We have 102% of list price received. So a little bit more competitive. There are more homes selling for over list price. The property that I put under contract that went for over list price was in Chittenden County. Now, when we take a look again at the median days on market, it's at 11 days. So the same days on market as the rest of the state here, which is higher than last year. But again, it's still relatively low. We see things are ticking up. Now, when we take a look at what's going on with pending sales and new listings, things are a little bit tighter here in Chittenden County than the rest of the state. New listings are at 109 new listings last month. Again, well over where they were last year, about 30 more listings this year than last year. And when we take a look at pending sales, 189 versus 161. So about 30 more listings hit the market this year than last year. And those 30 listings are not going under contract. Now, it doesn't mean that your home won't go under contract right away. It still could, but more listings are sitting on the market, which is leading to a slight rise in active inventory. When we take a look at active inventory, it's up 50% year over year and up 3% from the prior period. So things are ticking up slowly. When we take a look at active inventory, again, across the state and in Chittenden County, the reason why inventory is going up is because there are more people listing their homes this year and there are less people putting them under contract. Now, to summarize this video and to give you some actionable steps as a home buyer or a home seller out there, it's really a nuanced market. You know, every home is different. If you're a seller out there, you want to price your home attractively. You want it to be the most desirable option in the price point that you're listing. Now, you don't want to underprice it because there aren't as many buyers out there. It's not guaranteed to get bid up well over list price. You want to list it at a price that you would be comfortable selling it for, but you don't want to overlist it, right? If you list your property too high, it's just going to sit on the market. And buyers, again, they're not making lowball offers throughout the board. Now, some buyers are walking out there and they're submitting offers for well under list price. But from what I'm seeing, most buyers are still offering somewhere around where the property is listed for. So you want to list it at a price that you're comfortable selling it for. You don't want to overprice it. You don't want to underprice it. Now, if you're a buyer out there, this is a great opportunity for you. Rates are coming down. Not many buyers have caught on to the fact that rates have come down a little bit, and there's more inventory on the market than there have been the past few years, making this a great time for you to jump into the housing market and get a home at a pretty good interest rate, albeit the prices haven't come down. I don't see prices coming down in the near future. Interest rates are likely to drop throughout the year, which could bring more buyers into the market. Now, let's talk about what to expect moving forward. I do think we're going to see interest rates continue to drop throughout 2024 and into 2025. Of course, that could change. Nobody has a crystal ball. But I think if interest rates drop significantly throughout this year and into next year, then we could see more buyers jump into the housing market, which is why now I think if you're a buyer, it's a great time to jump in. Yes, you'll have a higher monthly payment because you'll have a higher interest rate today than you will in, say, 6 months from now, most likely, but there's less competition now. And I think once interest rates come down, the tides are going to flip quickly and it's going to turn into a seller's market again. just because of how low inventory is. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any real estate needs, reach out to me directly, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.